Hey guys, welcome to my video. I am your host, the J-Man, and boy have I got something for you. Today we're going to talk about Resident Evil Afterlife, the movie. Okay, let's get into this one. Boy, what a terrible mess of a movie, you know. I hate to sit here and complain, but what would criticism be without complaints? I mean, let's face it, the most entertaining part of criticism is complaints that people have. But, yeah, Resident Evil, I was very disappointed by it, and I'll tell you why. It seemed like it was just this montage of glamour shots or special effects that they were doing specifically for 3D. Like, they would just go into these weird sequences that seemed like they were ripped and pulled right out of the Matrix movie, and they were just put there for design purposes, and it really didn't fit into the story. The movie practically had no story whatsoever, and that was surprising to me because I read an article in called Envision magazine, the official magazine of NVIDIA. I read an article about the movie, and they were talking about how the director specifically decided to make this movie more like the video game and to take direct beats out of the video game and put it into the movie. And I just don't see what they were talking about. This movie has very, very little relation to the game. Yeah, they used this character, monsters that were in the game, and they used like one other character that was also in the game, Chris. But other than that, oh yeah, Wesker was also in the movie, obviously. But other than that, I don't really see how they can say that this was the most based off of a game compared to the other movies. For me, none of the movies were based off of the game. They used similar characters and some of the same characters, but the plots were so disjointed from the actual continuity of the game series that, you know, it's just two different worlds. But watching this as a movie on, you know, your HD TV at home, nowhere near the same effect as you would have in the theater watching it with 3D glasses. It's just not that kind of movie. It's not a movie designed for home viewing. And other than that, it's also a piece of crap movie because it's just a bunch of action scenes, the dialogue, the script, it's all very minimal and boring, really. The characters are stereotype. You know, the action really wasn't even all that believable or fantastic. I mean, the scene in the shower, granted, that scene in the shower with the executioner, that was really cool. That's probably the best part of the movie. And that's only like a 2-minute stretch, not even. Yeah, they killed the executioner pretty easily, I have to say. In the game, you've got to do a lot more damage than that, but hey, whatever. It's a movie, so they could have done so much more. I mean, Wesker was the worst. I think the worst character I've ever seen in that type of movie, in a zombie film. I'm sure there's been much worse characters in cheesy B horror movies, but Wesker was like this horrible imitation of Agent Smith from the Matrix. Just like a completely robotic personality. And if you might be able to argue and say, yeah, Wesker was like that in the game. That's exactly how Wesker was in the game. But this just seemed more more irritating than usual. More irritating than in the game. More stiff, and in live action cinema, you expect to see a little better than what you would see in a video game cinematic. You can only do so much with CGI characters and voice dubbing. But when you're using live people, you expect a little bit better performance, So, yeah. Resident Evil Afterlife. What a joke. Very poor film. Almost not worth seeing at all. I'm going to give it, I'm going to be generous and give it like a 4 out of 10. Okay guys, that's it. That's my review for Resident Evil Afterlife. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, and I'll see you guys next time.